Revelation 13, verse 15 to 18, And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. The issue of the mark of the beast is centered around idolatry and worship. If you have an idol in your life, you are a prime candidate to take the mark of the beast when it comes.
The issue of worship is a major issue in the Bible. It is a major one in the spirit world. There is a contention of worship. The enemy, the devil, wants you and I not to worship God because he wants the worship for himself, which is why the mark of the beast will be introduced in the future. The mark of the beast will highlight and proclaim to the world who you worship. The Antichrist will be an idol for some people. He will be a god walking amongst men for some people. The world will bow and worship him literally. Although the Antichrist himself hasn't arrived, his spirit has. His spirit is on this earth, and it is doing everything it can to take the hearts of men and women away from God, and for them to break the first commandment. There is great significance on this verse. Exodus 20, verse 3, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That was God's first commandment. Does that not tell you something? God takes the issue of idolatry seriously. The issue of idolatry predates mankind. A third of the angels fell because of idolatry. They rebelled and chose the side of the devil. The Bible said that God is a jealous God. 19 times throughout the Bible, the word jealous described God. The issue of idolatry is serious. Isaiah 42 verse 8, I am the Lord, and that is my name, and my glory I will not give to another, nor my praise to carved images. God has all the right reasons to be jealous. After all, he created us. We belong to him. We are the apple of his eyes.
Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 17 of the King James Version says, And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. There is a great mystery that surrounds the mystical number 666. And this isn't a mystery that came into light only recently, but even in the ancient world. Scholars have endeavored to find out who the mystery man is behind this number. The truth is, till this day, no one knows definitively the meaning of this number or the name of the person behind this number. Greek and Hebrew and Bible scholars over the centuries have been attempting for centuries to unravel the mystery of this name and number. The truth is that if you look at this number long enough and hard enough, this number 666 fit into any name. Although we don't know exactly who the man behind this number is, what we do know about the people alive during this time in the book of Revelation chapter 13, they will undoubtedly know who he is and what the number represents. Now, if we were to ask the majority of people right now if the Antichrist comes with the mark of the beast, or if the time for the mark of the beast comes, will they take the mark? The answer you will hear from most people is no. But the Bible reveals to us that people will indeed take the mark. And there are a number of different reasons why people will take the mark. And within this sermon, we will explore the reasons why. How do you think the devil will place the mark? What approach do you think he will use to get people to collect it? If we want to look at the approach of the devil, we will have to start with the world today. You know, many of us will hear of the mark of the beast, or the fact that people will worship the beast, and what we think is that it will all happen in the distant future, years from now, centuries from now. But that's not true. I would go as far as saying it has already started, but people don't see it yet. We might have not been seeing the mark on people around the world, but are we not seeing what the mark signifies in the world now? The significance of the mark is in the world today, and we are turning a blind eye to it. Two of these reasons are interlocked together. Idolatry is dependent on deception. No one will go into idolatry except they have been deceived by someone or something. These are the plans of the devil to make people collect the mark. Number 1, coercion. Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 through 17 of the King James Version says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." The second beast, who is known as the false prophet, will ensure that people will have to take the mark, because without it, an individual will not be able to buy or sell. Now think of the pressure that this will put people under. Imagine the strain that this will put on the father of a family, knowing that he cannot provide for his family unless he takes this mark. Look at the lengths people go to in order to have money in their pocket. People go as far as doing illegal activities such as armed robbery because they don't have money. Rather than focusing on their eternity, people will focus on the here and the now. Don't you think that is what people do already? People focus on the here and the now. But the Bible reminds us constantly that there is an eternity, and that is what people should focus on. Our decision should be based on eternity. The second reason is deception. The first approach of the devil on any occasion is deception. There is a reason why Jesus called this being the father of lies. We know about technology and those who invented the technology. Satan invented lies and deceit. John chapter 8, verse 44 of the King James Version says, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it." Satan is the founding father of lies. If you look at the history of destruction of Satan, his method of choice has included deceit to some extent. Check anything Satan destroyed. He used deceit. In the Garden of Eden, he used deceit. He tried it on Jesus, but failed. He will, and he is using the same method today in the world. Maybe you are thinking that the devil will come at the end of the world and start to deceive many people, or start telling them lies about his original appearance. In Revelation 13, there are two beasts. The first beast is the Antichrist, and the second beast is the false prophet. The false prophet endorses the Antichrist to the world and urges the world to worship the first beast. Now look at what the false prophet does. Revelation chapter 13, verse 14. "And he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived." He will deceive those on the earth to take the mark. The means of his deception will be through signs and wonders. People will see these wonders and will marvel at the false prophet and will listen to him as he directs worship to the Antichrist. Jesus said that in the end times, false prophets would emerge and show great signs and wonders to deceive many. Matthew chapter 24, verse 24 says, "For For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. We all know that Revelation 14 details to us that 3 angels will be sent by God to preach the gospel. But this deception is so powerful that even though people will see angels flying and warning them not to take the mark, some will still go ahead and take them. We see this in Revelation 14. Even though the gospel will be preached by the 144,000 and the 3 angels and the 2 witnesses, the God of this world will still be at work doing what the Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4, which says, "In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them." And number 3, idolatry. The third method is idolatry. After the deception has set in, the first beast will be an idol. He will be loved and adored. Although he is energized by the very power of hell, he is still a man, and people will worship him. The Antichrist's demand for worship will be so extreme, he will set himself up as God. A man will be worshipped. People think this is so far-fetched, but the people of this world already practice worshiping people now. Look at the culture of celebrities, where people place other human beings on a pedestal, where people faint when they see another person, where people scream hysterically when they meet another person. I have even seen people bowing and worshiping a celebrity. This culture has even infiltrated the church. Celebrity pastors are becoming more prominent. People are to love their pastor, but not to worship them. I love my pastor, but I don't worship him. I look after my pastor, but I don't worship him. In all honesty, we live in a culture of idols. Idolatry is whatever you worship. Whatever you put first in your life is an idol. Idolatry will come in when you have been deceived. When you are an idolater, be clear of this: you are not a child of God. I will repeat that. If you are an idolater, you are not a child of God. Don't say you are being judged or you are being condemned. This is not the time to be thinking someone is condemning you. This is a warning, and it is nothing compared to the eternal damnation that will come to every idolater. You may be saying that you are not an idolater, but you love money more than God. Matthew chapter 6, verse 24 of the King James Version says, "No man can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon." We also have it in Luke chapter 16, verse 13 of the King James Version that, "No servant can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon." You must love one and hate the other. You cannot love money more than God and say, you love God. The Antichrist will be idolized, loved, and adored. Some people take the mark because of this, because he is their idol.